it to a Monday after a day off for you to celebrate your 49ers getting I wouldn't say much deserved win, but a win.
It was fantastic. Actually, all the games this weekend were fantastic. They all came down to right at the end there. So
Mm.
you want
I
might
really
want to.
wonder the question. The NFL players in the pre-draft, they have to take what's called a Wonderlic test, right? To see what their, I guess it's kind of like an IQ test and a personality test, IQ, EQ thing. And I wonder why coaches don't have to do the same thing. So I'm watching that Bills game on my phone last night, getting ready for today. And the Bills scored that late touchdown to take the lead. There's 13 seconds left, and you kick the ball in the end zone, so you don't burn any clock, right?
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense. And then on the next two plays, you let the receivers release clean with nobody around. I don't understand for the life of me why they just don't tackle the wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. It's a 5-yard penalty call for holding, and that's it.
Yeah.
You make them run two plays, you hold them every single time, and then you move your microphone where people can hear you.
Yes.
And then, of course, if you tackle those wide receivers at the get-go, they can't go anywhere. 5-yard penalties, 2 plays, game's over.
Yeah.
I know the game can't end on a penalty, but then you got to throw the Hail Mary, and the odds of that converting are much lower than a field goal from 49 yards.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. So did you see that game between the Kansas City and Buffalo?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what did they do? Scored like 3 touchdowns in 2 minutes?
Just craziness.
The 2 teams? Yeah.
I mean, to me, the sin is letting them get free releases with 13 seconds left. But I'm not a coach. I'm here to pick horses, Terry. Had a little bit of a up and down weekend, if you will. Some decent winners on the stake show. Kind of missed on the Hong Kong show. Did okay with the show on with Julie Green at Fairgrounds. So it was a mixed bag. But hopefully we can get to it today. Today, we're going to go to Turf Paradise because we wanted to go someplace where it was warm.
Which is good because Parks is canceled today.
Mm-hmm. And if you're betting today, one of the things you can do, I don't know if Mahoning Valley, I think is running, right? Despite the fact that their weather's probably like ours here in Chicago, kind of cold and snowy. But Mahoning Valley today is the free track over at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. So if you head on over to there, you'll see, you just go on, click on Mahoning Valley, and you'll get the free picks. They're probably close to running. Lionistic, number 3, is a best bet in the first race. There's 3 best bets in the first race and every track, Terry. So let's get to talking about our picks at the Turf Paradise, Terry.
Okay.
Let's start in race number 1. Race number 1 is a maiden claiming $7,500. It is a 6.5 furlong race on the main track. They've run 52 races so far at this meet, 37 won by speed, Terry, 20 of which went wire to wire, and it doesn't really appear to matter what post position that you get. I see you and I, essentially, we have the same 4 horses, but in a little bit different order. Why do you rank the 4 as your top horse?
Well, I like that number 4 because actually broke really bad last race, came into the stretch 5 wide, and I think that compromised his chances. And I think he only lost by a nose 2 races back at this distance. So he's dropping in class today, which I think will help. And he can win this race if he repeats the performance on January 7th. Then I like number 3, Winning Magic. He shows early speed. Cutting back in distance will help. Has a good jockey and trainer. And then number 5, Warfront Fighter. He ran a nice second in his last race at Turf Paradise and has a bullet workout on January 7th. Then number 7, Rancher. He's trying dirt for the first time in his career and shortening up today. I really like the bullet workout on January 5th.
Mm-hmm. Well, I have Warfront Fighter as my top choice, Terry, because if you look at the past performances last time out, ran much better fractions that resulted in a last race speed figure above par for this level. And just in case you're wondering if he's going to be sharp again, well, put a bullet work in since the last race. So got a lot of positives there. We both agree that Winning Magic is likely to finish in second, Terry. He's got the fastest fractions any horse have put together for a quarter mile. You have jockey Henry Hernandez on this, the number one jockey in sprints, number two in wins, and he's riding the horse that has the number one early pace advantage. So I like that. Number 4, Roadside, has the top pedigree in the field, Terry. And then along with the top pedigrees, he's making a drop from 23, almost 24,000 to a little over 13,000 in purse money, and does have the best early pace numbers in the field. And then finally, number 7, Rancher, Terry. I agree with you. It's hard to look past that 46 and 2 furlong workout. That's faster than any 4 furlong number that Rancher has been able to put up during a race. Though I had a really difficult time selecting it versus the number 1 horse, Circle West. So it will be interesting to me to see how those horses play out in the, for third or fourth, that exacta trifecta money type thing. Race number 2, Terry, is 1 mile. They're going to move that race over to the turf. And then they've run 9 races so far, Terry, on the turf. 7 have won by speed. 2 went wire to wire. And so far, there has been a big inside speed bias, inside 3 for 1 mile on the turf. And this 1 mile on the turf has made an optional claiming $30,000, Terry. We both like the 7 horse as our top choice. Tell me why you, and then I think after that, we only agree on one other horse. So why is it you like the 7?
Well, I like it because the last time that tried the turf at Turf Paradise, he ran second. And he has the best turf speed rating in this race. Mm-hmm. He has jockey Lindy Wade in the set irons and trainer Van Bevelaar. So that's my reasons. So number 3, Shady Fied. He has started 2 races in the turf, was bumped badly in one of those races and lost all chance, but he ran a nice third in the other. In addition, he has a 3 furlong bullet workout on December 4th. Number 4, Stormy Summit. He has a good jockey who's winning at a 19% clip at the current meet. And he had a big improvement in his speed rating in his last race and seems to be racing into form. And number 2, Next Journey. First time starter with decent works and a good trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days have won 7 out of 8 races, or been in the money at 7 out of 8 races.
Yes, so I'm looking at number 7, Tropolis is my top pick. You had mentioned Lindy Wade is the jockey. He's won about almost 36% of all route races. Then you look at trainer Van Bellavoy. So it seems to me that his specialty is turf. And he's won 26% so far of his races on the turf and finishing in the money at close to 70%, just a hair under 70%. The horse Tropolis does have some of the best opening fractions out of any horse in the last race. Next Journey, you have trainer Jonathan Wong, who's been killing it at Turf Paradise, winning at almost 32% so far on the turf, Terry, finishing in the money close to 3 out of 4 races. And when you team him up with jockey Henry Hernandez, the combination, Terry, ends up with a positive ROI, which is hard to believe because, as I mentioned, Hernandez is one of the top jockeys down there, and clearly Jonathan Wong is one of the top trainers. It's hard to believe that you compare the two together and still turn a profit. Number 1, Pretty Loud, Terry, has the top early pace and late pace combo. That means he'll be able to string together the first part of the race and the second part of the race. Was the favorite last time out, so his odds have kind of jumped up a little bit. So that's an angle we've been playing. And then finally, this is another horse that's been able to put together some early fractions in the early part of the race. I'm wrapping up my picks with number 4, Stormy Summit. That horse did run a last race speed figure over par, but that was on dirt. Trainer Clay Brinson has taken the horse to turf. He's won 5 of 20 starts like that so far this year. Horse has got 3 consecutive speed figure increases, but that big one was such a huge jump that I am concerned about, A, can he do it on turf, but also B, a bounce. So from race number 2 to race number 3, they're going to go from 1 mile on the turf, Terry, to 1 mile on the dirt, and they've run a ton of them on a mile on the dirt. Terry, 71 races so far. 48 of them won by speed, but only 13 going wire to wire. So it looks like you want to have a little bit of a tactical speed, not a great burn them and go out of the gates. And the post positions look to me like there is an inside 3 bias, Terry, in this claiming $3,000 race. You like the rail horse, Lineman's Check.
Yeah, I do. And I like it because he likes the distance, or He's been in the money 5 out of 6 times, winning 2 of those. He has a bullet work on January 13th, 5 furlongs, 58.4, best out of 23. And then I like number 7, 10 Carat Rock, finished in the money in 46% of his races during his career, and he's won 27% of those races. He stretches out, which will help his case, and he has won at this distance in the past. Then I like number 9, Wild Kingdom. He ran a nice third in his last race. Then number 6, Angelino, highest last speed rating among the starters today.
For me, 10 Carat Rock gets the top choice, Terry. Has some of the best speed back class at Turf Paradise. Just needs to kind of run back to that. If he can run back to that, then he can should be able to find the winner's circle in this. Did run a slightly better race in the last start, so that tells me the horse is on the improve. So it's one of the things I try to find is horses that are swinging higher. Number 6, Angelino, is the second. The horse has always been well bet, and the trainer is turning this horse right around. It's the only horse in the field that's dropping in class. Last time out, ran for 14,000, running for 11.5, just a small drop. But again, it is the only horse in the field doing so. Number 10, Di Marrera, has some early pace, and it's the first off the claim for trainer ML Pierce, and he wins at 22% when claiming a horse the next time they run around the track, or the first time they run around the track together. And finally, number 1, Lineman's Check. So horse, Terry, it's making its third start off a layoff, has been in the money 5 out of 6 races at the distance. I think 6 races, 2 wins, 2 seconds, and a third. So got to like the fact that it likes the distance, and it has a bullet workout on January the 13th. So on lucky 13th, managed to put together a solid race. Race number 4, Terry, is a 6 furlong race, which includes my best bet in here, and number 6, Miss Wasa. I think maybe that's how you pronounce it. Missawa. Has a little bit of an early pace advantage, Terry, for this horse that's also tied for the top pedigree. To me, it's making a track drop coming from the Southern California tracks, or the Valley tracks too, because it ran at Del Mar, ran at Los Alamitos. Last time out, the horse was a 2-5 favorite and didn't win, but trainer Jeffrey Metz rebounds at 31% the next time around the track with these horses that lost as favorites. And this, Terry, is also a maiden optional claiming race at 6 furlongs. I like the 6 horse. You think the 2 horse is better? Why?
Well, I like the 2 horse for the simple reason that finished second 2 races in a row, has a jockey who in the last 7 days have been in the money 18 out of 26 starts and won 7 of those. And then I like number 6, Missawa. As you said, comes in from Southern California after just missing by a head. Lost only by a nose. And the trainer wins 31% of the time when he brings a beaten favorite back to the races. Then I like number 1, Bid in the Back. Closed to finish third. Has a good jockey, Corey Schreiber, in the irons. And then I like number 5, Chief Governor. The dam has won 5 winners out of 5 starters. The breeding suits today's sprint distance and has okay workouts, has a very good jockey.
Yeah, behind Missawa, I like number 2, Flying Charlie, Terry, as your top pick. It is a horse that's also making its third start off a layoff. It does own the fastest fractions that any horse has been able to produce in the opening quarter. So the horse has an opportunity to giddy up and go and maybe make it difficult. He's one of those horses that I deem a Denzel Washington horse. He spends a lot of time around the winner's circle, just not a lot of time in the winner's circle.
Yeah.
And last time out did run some of the best fractions out of any horse out of the gate. So, and I mentioned that the 6 furlong speed does win. It's won 26 of the 70 races so far. 56 have won by speed. It looks to me like the posts from 4 to 7 win the most. And you get a big drop off if you get an 8 or higher. My third choice is Chief Governor. Looks like of the 2 first-time starters, this one is the better. And finally, number 1, Bid in the Back, third off the bench, Terry. Had some late pace improvement in the last race and then had a maintenance workout since. So maybe the horse continues on that upswing, but I feel like Missawa is the top horse in this card today, and that's why I have it listed as my best bet. Before we move on to race number 5, Terry, let's talk a little bit about tonight's show. We're going to have on guest Wesley Ho, a jockey. He's going to talk about his career, things that's going on for him. But at the same time, for those of you who are watching, if you make a comment during the course of the show, none of you guys suck, or you're horrible, or Rich, your hair is out of order, any of that kind of stuff, just a genuine question or a comment, we're going to put all those names of the people who comment in a bag. And then we're going to pull the name out of the bag, out of the people who comment. And whoever's name gets pulled out of the bag is going to win a picture, signed picture of Mike Smith riding Justify, as you see on the screen there at Churchill Downs, Terry.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a comment too to see if I can win it.
Yeah, maybe too. Maybe me too.
You as well, huh? For sure.
Yeah.
So we also do our fly fours and our hot dog pick fours, Terry. We did them a little bit differently today than we normally do. So in a hot dog pick four, Terry, you went races 1, 2, 3, and 4. So there's your hot dog pick four for races 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you went 3 by 3 by 1 by 2 by 2. My hot dog pick four starts in race number 5, which we'll get to those picks in a moment. So there you can see our hot dog pick fours. Now I'm going to put up the prime rib pick fours because I started in race number 1. I went 5 by 5 by 4 by 2. That's a $100 ticket, Terry, because I feel like those first 2 races, any horse can win. The third race with some scratches, I really do feel like those are the best 4 horses in the race. And then with my best bet being in the 4th leg, I was going to single the 6, but I think if there's anybody that can give the 6 a hard time, it will be the 2. And then to the left, you see Terry's prime rib, which starts in race number 5, which we're going to get to next. So race number 5, Terry, is let me just take the screen off here and pull up the picks again. I'm sorry. Race number 5, Terry, is a 7.5 furlong race on turf. It's another maiden optional claiming 30. So we're going to have our fair share of maiden optional claiming $30,000 races today, Terry. So far, 7.5 furlongs on turf, Terry, just 6 races, 5 won by speed, 3 went wire to wire, and the inside 3 horses seem to have an advantage. 4 through 7 have been okay, and then you have a little bit of a drop off after that. And as you could see on the screen, Terry and I both went against the bias. I was thinking about changing it, but we both went against the bias with the 8 horse Ropers and Wranglers. Why did you go against the bias?
Well, I like that 8 horse because it's ran on the turf in her last race and seemed to really like it, only losing by a neck. And she's has the highest last race speed rating while doing that. She earned that. And then number 5, 12 Stars, had some trouble in her last race, but still ran second in her debut race. She has a good jockey who has won 7 out of the last 28 starts. Then I like number 6, Ballas. Was very green in her first start and showed a lot of improvement in the next start. She has a good workout on January 7th at 47.3, 8 best out of 35. And then I like number 2, Kiba Lucky Day. Ran 4th after coming to the stretch 4 wide. Had a good workout on January 12th. Was the 6th best out of 17.
For me, Terry, I'm looking at number 8, Ropers and Wranglers, and number 5, 12 Stars. It's a close pick between those 2 for me. Both of them ran a last race speed figure over par last time out, the only 2 in the field. Ropers and Wranglers had 3 consecutive speed figure increases. Big jump in that speed figure in the first race on grass. I do worry a little bit about a bounce there. 12 Stars, the 5 horse, was well bet in its debut, has the best combination, or at least in that lone race, put together the best combination of early pace and late pace. Only question to me here, too, is another one that's going to go from dirt to turf. So you have a little bit of a question mark with both the top 2 picks. Number 9, Keep It Rolling, Terry, has 4 consecutive speed figure increases, 3 of them in 3 starts off the bench, in the first 2 starts off the bench. This is the 3rd start off the bench, which was okay in the cycle last time at a 3-race cycle. And you get a big upgrade here to jockey Lindy Wade, who is just lighting up turf paradise, as Craig Paddock, the track announcer, noted to us last week when we did, or 2 weeks ago, on the Horse Center show. And then finally, I agree with you. Number 2, Kiba Lucky Day, has the fastest early fractions any horse in this field's been able to produce. Did so probably because it has the top pedigree for the distance and surface, Terry, and it's put 12 furlongs of workouts, most of them pretty good, a little bit better than average, on the track since its last race. So the 2 horse Keep a Lucky Day should be fit and ready to go. Race number 7, Terry, we go back to 6 furlongs, Terry. Again, 56 of the 70 races were won by speed. 26 went wire to wire. Looks to me like you got a pretty good even, a little bit of an advantage if you run from post 4 through 7. 8 and out has a pretty big drop, Terry, in this race. That is, we're in race 6 now, right?
Right.
6. Which is a claiming $15,000 non-winners of 2 lifetime for 4 years old and up that have never won 2 races, Terry. This race number 6, interestingly, for both of us, Terry, is our box it up. This has not happened before.
Yeah, that's true. And I'll tell you, there was a scratch in this race that really affected my
not as good, Tim.
Yeah, it really affected my pick here, and I had to hustle. It actually, the horse that was scratched was my best pick, but I didn't have a lot of time, so I just went ahead and used my second pick as my best pick. The 8, Try to Capture. Then I used the number 6, Majestic Street, and then number 2, March on Lynch, and number 3, Speeding Style. And then number 8 is my best bet, of course. So the number 8, what I like about that horse is it won its last race easily, and it has a good trainer jockey combination in the last 14 days. Has a record of 6 starts, 3 wins, 2 seconds. Number 6, Majestic Street likes to lead to win a race, has a good jockey and trainer, and drops in class. Number 2, March on Lynch. He ran second in his last race despite coming into the stretch 6 wide and drops in class for today's contest. And then number 3, Speeding Style, won its last race at Golden Gate Fields.
I like number 6, Majestic Street. First time off the claim for trainer Justin Evans is a 37. That's a high number. 37% winner. It did beat number 8 when they met two races back, Try to Capture. Robertino Dinorodoro is returning Try to Capture off a quick turnaround. He did win its last race, breaking its maiden by 6 3/4 lengths with the top last race speed figure. It's about the only way I really like to take horses that come off, a few races. I'd say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 races to finally break that maiden. The only way I'll consider them in the next start is if they did run the top last race speed figure. And Robertino is lighting up sprints, winning them at 29% of the time. Number 9, Terry, Herzen. It's a bullet workout on January the 19th. Ran 3 furlongs in 35-1. That's a pretty good time. That's on top of the fact that last time out, Herzon ran some of the fastest opening quarter-mile fractions for any of these horses. And I expect some improvement here today from the 9 horse because he's making his 3rd start off a layoff. And the last time the horse ran in a 3-race cycle, the 3rd race was the best of the bunch. Number 2 is also another horse that's making its 3rd start off a layoff, showed some improvement from race 1 to race 2, and should continue to be fit and probably improve because it put in a pair of workouts since the last time the horse ran. Race, Tom, just to answer your question, 8 and out, the post positions do drop a little bit in terms of win percent, but you got some scratches. Some of these horses are moving a little bit more to the inside. And I just feel like some of these outside horses are actually better than the inside horses. I hope that the bias doesn't overcome the horse, so to speak, so that it's the horse can overcome the track and not the other way around. We got another for race number 7, another 6 furlong race. This one's claiming $3,500. Non-winners of 3 lifetime for 4 years old and up. Obviously, have never won 3 races in their life, Terry. Here we have the same 4 horses in just a slightly different order. We like the 1 and the 5 on top. So maybe we got an ice cold exacta going there, Terry.
Could be.
Express Permission is the first pick for both of us. I give you permission to express why Express Permission is your top pick.
Well, won its last race at Turf Paradise, has a highest last race speed rating, and a good workout on November 1st of 59.3 for 5 furlongs. And then I like number 5, Rousing Rubble. Finished in the money in the last 3 races, winning one of those races, and switches to jockey Lindy Wade, who is winning at a 22% clip at this meet. And then I like number 2, Colavito. Ran 3rd last race, has a good jockey and a good workout on December 9th, 46.4 and it was the 2nd best out of 26. And then I like number 7, Fabulous Floyd. finished in the money 50% of the time in 2021, winning 2 of those races. Of course, it hasn't raced for 6 months, so we'll have to see what happens.
So if Express Permission is a horse that's being turned around pretty quickly, been off in less than 20 days with a strong performance last time out. The last time the horse turned around in a similar time frame, it finished second by a neck. So it was really close to winning. Won easy at this level in its last race, Terry, and it hasn't spent a whole lot of time down at this level. So you have 3 consecutive speed figure increases facing competition, the lightest competition that it's faced. And it, like I said, smoked them last time out. Maybe you can repeat that performance. If not, Rousing Rebel, the 5 horse, did run some better fractions last time out and did so with the top early pace numbers for this field. Does get a major jockey upgrade to the leading jockey, Lindy Wade. And this horse has been in the money 4-7 at Turf Paradise. So you got a strong jockey, improving form. You got a horse that likes the course. Maybe that works out. Number 7, Fabulous Void, or number 2, Colavito, and the 12 horse, 30 Minutes to Mass. I had a real difficult time picking between those 3. Fabulous Floyd, if it runs its race, does have the best combination of early pace and long pace numbers. But man, the horse has been on the sidelines for a long time. So I'm a little concerned because when I look back at its previous history, when it had a long break, it needed one before it found its form. So it might need one here too. But if it runs to its best level, it can beat the 1 and the 5. Number 2, Colavito, ran some better fractions last time out, Terry, despite adding a furlong. I always like when I see a horse go longer but still run faster. That's a real big time in race hint that the horse is in good form. So 3rd time off a layoff. Again, I expect the horse to show continued improvement in race number 3 off the bench. And then you got Jockey Hernandez top on sprint horses. So 30 Minutes to Mass is another one that should be involved in the mix early on. It just that way outside post has me a little bit concerned in the 6 furlong race. And now we close it out, Terry, with race number 8. This one, again, 1 mile on the turf. They don't run many, 9. 7 won by speed, 2 went wire to wire, and you have a big inside 3 bias for this claiming 4,000 for fillies and mares 4 years old and up, which have started for a claiming price of $3,500 or less and have never, ever won on the turf, Terry. We both think the 8 horse is going to win its first race on the turf. Why do you think the Red Nova is going to get that turf W?
Well, I think if you look at it, she's won 2 races in a row at today's distance, and I thought it had won in the turf. That won its last race in the turf.
I mean, at the conditions, maybe. I don't know. That's what the condition book said. But
okay. Well, won its last race on the turf. She has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and the jockey won in the last 7 days. The jockey in the last 7 days has won 4 out of 12 races.
Oh, that was an or, Terry, in there. There wasn't it was an or have not won on the turf.
Or have. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Starlight Twist. She won her last race after being off for 7 months, and now is trying turf for the first time. Then number 4, the champ is Flooring. Has won 2 out of the last 4 races and has a good workout, has a good jockey who's winning at a 23% clip at the meet. Then number 3, North of Eden, finished second in her last 3 races, only losing by a neck on her last race. Has a good workout and now stretches out to a mile, which should help.
For me, number 8, Red Nova, does have the top early pace numbers in the field, Terry, and you can put it together with the best early pace and late pace combo. So should run a complete race from gate to wire. Has 3 consecutive speed figure increases. Winner of 3 of 4. Same fractions last time, Terry, at 1 mile as it did at 6 furlongs. So again, that tells me that the horse is improving because you can run just as fast at 1 mile as you do at 6 furlongs. You're actually running faster because you have more of a race to run. Number 3, North of Eden, is 3/4 of a length and a neck from winning 2 in a row and did so with 3 consecutive speed figure increases. So maybe we get a 4th consecutive increase here. The champ is Flooring, Terry. First off the claim, it's a 30% angle for trainer Jonathan Wong. And this horse does also have a tie or right in there for the top early pace and late pace combination in the field. So maybe Jonathan Wong improvements can get this horse to be even better. And finally, this is the way we want to go home today when the card is done at Turf Paradise. Terry, we want to go home happy, happy, happy. Has a bullet workout at 6 furlongs on the turf at Turf Paradise. It is won. Well, it's run on 6 furlongs on Turf Paradise at the distance 6 times and finished second in those times 4 times out of 6. So it's kind of got that gambler's fallacy that it's due. It's close. Denzel Washington, a lot of time around the barbershop, just waiting to get that haircut. And it's the only horse in the field that's making any sort of price or prize money drop. It's just a small drop compared to what it ran for last time. So that wraps up the Turf Paradise card. And we picked it specifically because we know some of the weather in these Northeast tracks and some of the Midwest tracks are on the a little on the bad side. Take a price here. Number 6, Tom says, La Rosa Drive, good last, will show speed. And Tom hit one the other day with that twirling candy that I was kind of thinking about as well. Yeah. Just to kind of recap, Terry, our picks here. You can see the full card picks. Our hot dog pick for Terry is yours is race 1, 2, 3, and 4. Mine is 5, 6, 7, and 8. Our prime rib, we flip it. Terry, I go with 1, 2, 3, and 4 for my hot dog. I mean, prime rib, which is the full allotment 100. Terry did races 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we both agreed that we should box up race number 6, which is a $1 exacta box, a 50-cent trifecta box, and a 10-cent superfecta box, Terry.
That's right.
Yes, indeed. So that wraps up the picks for today's show, Terry. I know that you did your best bet, but we talked about that already today, right? For Turf Paradise, race number 6.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, we did because I used the 8, 6, and 2 because my original first pick was scratched.
Yes, number 5, Stretford End. How did your best bet do yesterday?
Yeah, yesterday my first pick ran. Let's see, my first pick ran second, and my second pick ran first. But it was because the first pick was disqualified and placed second, I believe. Mm-hmm. Anyway, and so the second pick that won the race paid $10.65 and $3.60. So.
Sounds good. So hopefully we can do some good business today at Turf Paradise. Wants to point out, too, that we're going to have a great show tonight with Wesley Ho on Horse Center, which starts at 8 o'clock. Sean and I will go over some news. Tomorrow, we're going to have on Hall of Fame jockey Mike Smith, so you're going to want to check that out. That should be a good time as well. On Wednesday, we're going to have the folks that run the Past the Wire. That should be a great conversation. And this is Pegasus week, so our guest this week is from Gulfstream Park on Thursday night for the Players Edge podcast. That's Claudia Spadaro. I hope I get that right. The young lady will be joining us here on Thursday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern to go over all the Pegasus races, talk about her background coming from Venezuela, going to the University of Miami, and ending up in horse racing. I kind of want to find out why and how that path took place, Terry.
Yeah, it sounds interesting. Like to know too. So I like her. I like her picks. She does a good job.
Yes, and you can catch their picks along with all the free picks today, every day over at horseracingtoday.net. We aggregate all the free picks across the country. And then, of course, you can get the picks for going to give away that signed picture tonight. Yeah, Shaw, we talked about that. Come on to the Wesley Ho show and make a comment, and we'll put all the comments in a box. We're in a hat. And maybe this is what we're going to do. We're going to let Blake, first what we're going to do is let Blake take him out. And when Blake is done, he'll Nerf gun Sean, right? So if you like what you saw today, kindly please subscribe on YouTube. We want to get to 1,000 as fast as we can, so we appreciate your help there. Tell your friends about us if they're into horse racing. We did see that Horse Player X had a very sweet comment about us, some kind words, said that you would not regret listening to the show. We hope that you don't. So tell your friends because they will regret that you didn't tell them about it. You can follow us on Horse Race Today on Twitter and on Facebook. And at the same time, I know Sean's put together a Instagram account soon, TikTok with Dancing and Tools. Jay Marco says, if I make a bunch of comments, do I get a bunch of chances to win? We're only going to give you one per comment, and then we'll go from there. So hopefully, Jay, you get it. We'll see, right? We'll know in about 12 hours or not 12 hours, 8 hours, somewhere along that. Any final thoughts, Terry, before we get up and out of here on this Monday?
Yeah, I just hope that this is a good week prior to the Pegasus Cup, and hope everybody's getting ready for that, looking at what's going to happen, having a good time, and just be safe and have a wonderful day.
Indeed. We hope that you have a safe day, a wonderful day at the track. Obviously, you can't do anything at parks today, but you still have Turf Paradise. You still have Mahoning Valley, which again is the free track over at Horse Race at Guaranteed Tip Sheet. So head on over there, get your free Mahoning picks, and hopefully, Terry, every one of their picks and every one of our picks ends up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Monday, everybody. Terry and I will be back tomorrow with our picks at parks. Hopefully, they're running. See you then.